So why don't we do this? Everybody can see my screen. I think the audio works. That was crazy. I logged on, it kicked me right off. It was crazy, but fingers crossed. Hopefully we can get to the finish line here. And if we can, trust me, it will be worth it, as you know. 2026, baby. Are you as excited as Dr. Kaplan and I? I hope you are. Brand new year, brave new world, bold new future. And we're going to show you some things we've never shown before. We're going to share with you some things we've never shared before. And we're going to go right into it. So only one ground rule. That's it. Take notes. All right. Make sure you take notes. All right. Please, please, please take notes. Close the door. Shut off your phone unless you're listening or watching on the phone. Remove all distractions. Be in PTC, as we say in chiropractic, present time consciousness, because we want you walking away with content. We want you walking away with an action plan. We want you walking away with the big idea. We want that aha moment for you here live on this brand new Zoom training for 2026. And you know, we're just pumped and juiced and adrenalized and excited that you're here with us. So, brave new world, bold new future, bright new day. If, one word, two letters. If, such a powerful word. If you have the right training, if you have the right tools, if you have the right content, if you have the right marketing, and if, most importantly, you surround yourself with the right people. Holy cow, that's a lot of rights. But as we say, you're naturally right if you get the big idea. Someone once said, get the big idea. All else follows. This is an above down, inside out thing. And even though we're going to talk about science and research and clinical data and technology and all the latest, greatest, at the end of the day, this is an above down, inside out Zoom training based upon the power that made the body. It's the same power that heals the body. You live with that every single day in your practice, dealing with the innate of the body. We love it. And most of you know who we are, but for the few on this Zoom training that don't know who we are, yes, I'm so privileged, so honored, so blessed that for 39 years, 39 years, the guy to the left of me, it's been in my life. We're talking about Dr. Eric Kaplan. He is all that. He is. You're going to see why. You're going to learn why. And this is a big year for me personally, professionally, because of the simple fact that 40 years ago, I know it's hard to believe, 40 years ago, I graduated chiropractic school. And some of you are not even 40 years old. You're on the Zoom training. You're not even 40 years old. Well, I graduated 40 years ago, 1986. Dr. Kaplan actually graduated 7 years before me. So that's a ton of experience, ton of knowledge, ton of content. We're going to share a lot of with you here tonight. And for some of you who don't know, we're known for a lot of things. But one of the things we're really known for is we created the most powerful brands for chiropractors to literally hook their rocket ship, ride to, because ours is the greatest rocket ship on the planet in terms of Google penetration, in terms of death, in terms of the amount of clinics, in terms of the amount of patients that we save from dangerous opioids, risky epidural injections, often unnecessary back surgeries. If you total that, holy cow, it's hard to believe. Yes, we created Disc Centers of America. Yes, we created Knee Centers of America. Yes, we created neuropathy treatment centers. And yes, these are all free gifts. We give these to our family of doctors. We don't sell equipment, we sell success. And we are in the education business. And we're so honored and thankful that you're here on this ride with us. And it's amazing. Many of you know this, some of you don't. We actually wrote what was many known as the gold standard. They call it the Bible of spinal decompression. Holy cow, 800 pages. We wrote an 800-page book on spinal decompression, comprehensively, completely. There are ways to get access to this information. We're going to talk about that on this Zoom training as well. It is the Bible of spinal decompression. We did write it with an incredible doctor. We actually co-authored it with Dr. Norman Shealy. Many of you know who he is. Some of you don't. MD, PhD, neurosurgeon, Harvard lecturer, Duke trained. What a pedigree. And he has over 500 published papers with a mainstay of them in non-surgical spinal decompression. We're going to talk about that here live tonight. Dr. Kaplan's going to do a little bit of a dive on that. Take notes on it because this is the content, tools, information that you want to share with all of your patients. And, you know, I think one of the things that I love the most is often Dr. Kaplan will say to doctors, I'm preparing you right now. Get ready. If you ever get the honor and the privilege of meeting him, he's going to say to you this. He's going to say, Doc, what's your why? Like, why are you doing this? You know, why do you still do it? Oh, gosh, what feedback we get. I love doctors who are on this Zoom training who've been doing it longer than I've been alive. Yeah, they've been chiropractors longer than I've been on this earth, and they're on this Zoom training right now. You want to know our why? And I think that's a good thing to ask yourself. He'll ask you, what's your why? What's your legacy? Why did you get in this business? Why are you still in this business? And what do you want to accomplish? And if it's monetary, that's cool. But there's a higher level. And you know what that's about? It's about patient outcomes. Why are we in it? Simple, because we're in the trenches every day with you. Why? Because of the next generation. Number one, Dr. Jason Kaplan. 1,700 square feet, 4 decompression tables, multi-million-dollar practice, crushing it in practice. And he's all that. He's got it going on. And if you had the pleasure of ever meeting him, you'll see why. What's our other why? Well, that's the guy to our right. He's been in practice now in his own practice. You ready for this? For 14 weeks. He's got a 2,100 square foot office. He's got 2 decompression tables. He's got the ultimate waitlist practice. 2 days ago, he said to me, Wednesday, on Sunday, he says to me these words. He says, I just want to give you a quick heads up. I said, what's going on? He goes, I've got 12 new patients scheduled for tomorrow. 12! He's been in practice for 14 weeks. Yeah, because he's taken the tools, the content, the marketing, the information. We got so much to show you, share with you. We're going to go right in. But that's our why. If you ask them, they'll tell you, nobody ever told them to become a chiropractor. They did it on their own. Why? Simple. They like the life. They like the lifestyle. They like the freedom. All the things that you doctors aspire to or presently own. And if you don't have it, we'll teach you how to get it. It's real simple. So one of the things that we're so honored to have right here, right now, is a lot of this Centers of American doctors, a lot of our family of doctors are live on this Zoom training with you because this Zoom training is open to the profession. We have a special gift. And if you're part of our family of this Centers of America doctors, you know there's a back end to this. I'm going to give you the back end right here, right now. Mark it down on your calendar. Tuesday, January 13th, 2026, 7 p.m. We're doing a blast off of all the latest, greatest new patient marketing tools, information, applications, examples. We're going to show our doctors in a plug and play new patient explosion private Zoom training. It's completely free. And guess what? If you're on this Zoom training right now and you go, wait a minute, I haven't seen the Zoom link yet. Guess what? Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., that Zoom link will be live in your email box. So there's nothing for you to do. We're sending it out tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. The reason we didn't send that out early is because we didn't want to confuse you because, you know, this is something different. So tomorrow, 9 a.m. and I've got goosebumps right now on what we're going to show you on Tuesday night. It's our gift. You did set this American Doctors. You'll be with us next Tuesday. We're going to launch 2026 the right way. We're going to create a new patient marketing machine. We're going to show you exactly how Dr. Devin Bard has 12 new patients on a Monday. Whoa, 14 weeks in practice. For the rest of you, obviously, I know what you're thinking. You're sitting here and go, oh my God, I've heard about these guys. I've seen some of their ads in the American Chiropractor, the Chiropractic Economics, Dynamic Chiropractic emails. A lot of people told me about them. I would love to come to a training. And here's your chance. Now, the reason I'm doing this up front is because last time I did this, a number of doctors said, gee, why did you wait to the end to share that? So I said, no, I'll do it now because life favors always the action takers. Life favors the doctors that understand that success and speed work hand in hand. Life favors the doctors that have the big idea, that put themselves in an environment of growth, learning, content, tools, information, marketing on Saturday, January 24th. We can't wait to see you. There are a handful of seats left. It will be live in South Florida. You can go to the website, www.thecairoevent.com. I'll talk a little bit about it later. But mark it down. There is if you can't get through, in other words, if you try to register after the Zoom meeting and, technology, hey, that was a great example of it. Sometimes it gets overwhelmed. Let me give you a phone number. We don't even have a slide for it, so let me just give it to you. Write it down, 888-990-9660. Once again, 888-990-9660. Write that down. If you can't go, if the website shuts you down or kicks you off or says that it's completely full, call that number and see if you could get on a wait list or see if you could scoop up a seat Saturday, January 24th. We're going to blow your mind. We're going to put 1,000 pages of content, tools, information in your hand. There's nothing to sign. There's no contract. There's no pressure. You'll have a gourmet lunch. You'll meet with some of the most entrepreneurial doctors in the country. It's going to be so cool. It's the first one of the year. We got so much new stuff to show you, and it's amazing. And this is my favorite time. And the reason it's my favorite time is because I get a chance, just like you, to listen to my favorite orator, my favorite lecturer, my favorite mentor, my favorite instructor. I can go on because he's all that. He loves his profession. He does. He does it for the right reasons. He literally has put spinal decompression on his back, carries the torch for this profession, and he is, I'm going to tell you, blows my mind. He is such a visionary. I was talking to him today, and I have to be careful because sometimes I tend to use the G word a little too much with him. And I said, I got to apologize. I said, I think I sound like a broken record because I call you the G word all the time. What's G? Oh, that's genius. I can't tell you how many ideas he has for 2026 for you guys. And I keep saying, oh my God, that's genius. That's genius. I said, I apologize. I don't want to keep using that word. He goes, no, keep doing it. But that's what he's all about. And the fun for us, is the simple fact that we get a chance to share all this with you right here, right now. And we're going to jump right into the slides. And more importantly, this is my favorite time, my favorite moment. Dr. K, are you ready to go, baby? Loving your DCOA hat, by the way. You're representing the brand. Am I representing the brand too? A little bit, right? Kind of. If you like this shirt, say yes. Yeah, you did. Dr. Van Hemert, you're all that, baby. Look at you. I hope you're warm in Iowa. This is so weird because I don't know what happened to my camera, but it's like following me, which is weird. So, Dr. K, you ready?
Perry, I started before you were ready.
Oh, okay. Let me show some slides. I'm going to go right back into the slides because I got so much cool research and stuff and some new stuff I want to show. So I'm going to just go right back into it and let's go to work.
Listen, everybody who knows me knows that I only follow the slides 50%. Hopefully that you people know what spinal decompression is. But if you do not, let me explain to you what it is. It's an event, not a table. It's an event. And what do you think that we do? So what spinal decompression is, it's spinal distraction without muscle contraction. Now, if you understand what that means is it actually they started working with traction with a Swedish doctor. His name was Vanil. And then a Russian doctor, a neurologist called Osip Makutovsky. Okay. He started talking about suspension and inversion. And then you have Gilles de la Tourette, who in 1897 started doing some work, but then it started to get more interesting because then Syriac came involved. And Syriac talks about distraction without contraction. Hold on, doesn't that sound like that thing? Now, what happened was then one of the people, the Minister of Healthcare, Dr. Dyer, got involved, okay? And he developed the VAX-D, vertebral axial decompression, of which, believe it or not, the code, because insurance companies hate to pay for it, is S9090 because it calls it experimental. Yet, in the book that Perry talked about, with over 800 pages, with research from the Mayo Clinic, with research from Harvard, with research from doctors from Johns Hopkins. Okay, it shows the effects, but why is this important, doctors? Because I believe, for over 2,000 years, we've been standing in an upright position. Now, Kirkland E. Willis, MD, used the term pressure elimination approach. Decompression occurs by changing angles and positions, but requires some level of traction. Now, where did that come from? Obviously, that came from Calladia, and that also came from Dr. Shealy. And that's when they created the fixed tower. When Dyer first started, he did it in a posterior or a prone position versus in a supine position. Now, we talked about this before when I started earlier about people come down to three choices. It's amazing that I was talking Perry without the slides, and I already discussed this slide, that they have three choices before you: opioids, epidural injection, spinal surgery. But here's the question, doctors. As I started today, what is one new patient worth to you? And then, as Perry used the word why should they choose you? And I'm going to tell you why. Because you're the non-invasive choice. Because if you look at it, if you look at Dr. Dio from Washington State University, he says surgery, especially spinal surgery or disc replacement surgery, is also growing. Controversial treatment of patients with chronic back pain and sciatica. And I told you, as I said, an aggressive arm of the surgical community believes that these patients benefit from surgery, but this is an area where evidence is at best murky and confusing. Orthopedic surgeon Paul Rubery agrees that the benefit of surgeries are questionable. And that's why there's failed back surgery syndrome. Now, doctors, you have to understand that when a patient comes in, they're also thinking of their choices. And as I told you when we began, what is one new patient worth to you? In our world, it should be worth anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000. Now, if you look at some studies by Louise Chang, MD, Louise, okay, and where was this? Where am I bringing this from? WebMD. And in the last study done probably 15 years ago, back pain in 2008 spent $86 billion, which means as of today, doctors, they don't want to discuss it. Back problems is $1 trillion industry. And if you're scared to ask for $2,000 or $3,000, you see, everybody write this word down. It's called care. We are in the care business. And you have to understand your worth and your value. And I give you the acronym of care, confidence, commitment, and clarity. That's the C. If you're not confident, if you're not committed to the patient, if you don't have clarity, then you will not close that patient. You see, I ask people all the time, how many patients did you do report of findings on, and how many said yes? And the ones that didn't, now what we do at a boot camp for our clients only is we go through objections. Dr. Bart and I were talking about objections that our sons get today. And as I told you, when I was on the golf course today, two golf pros, both have had surgery, both unsuccessful. One went the injection route and then got a chronic infection. The fact that he was on PIC MDs, meaning they had a PIC line him. Now, you have to understand, the other one had a disc replacement, but the bottom disc was so big that now he has two bulges, herniations in the ones above it. So what are the common symptoms of a disc injury? Now, watch where we go, doctors. We know this. This is what we learned in chiropractic school. Sciatica, muscle spasms, blade reflexes, weakness, burning, tingling. But guess what? What you're going to learn in the future is many of these symptoms are also subject to neuropathy, which means, doctors, that some patients that have disc problems also have neuropathic problems. And that makes it a double patient. And you just have to know how to test for it. And we will show you that, doctors. We will take you to another level because, you see, doctors, let me tell you what we don't do, and let me tell you what we do. We don't teach you to be salesmen. If you're out there selling, you're failing. What I want is I want you to be a better doctor. The D in doctor, you'll hear me say this 1,000 times, stands for detective. The better detective you are, the better diagnosis you will give. The R stands for results. The better results you get, the more referrals you get. And again, how much is one new patient worth to you? We know that a subluxation, where it all begins, becomes a bulge, becomes herniation. No different than in dentistry, doctors. People end up with a cavity. They get a filling, and then eventually the decay wanders, and they end up with a root canal, and then eventually decay wanders, and they end up with a replacement. And anybody that's ever had surgery knows the difference between major surgery and minor surgery is minor surgery happens to somebody else. So care. Let's go back to it. Confidence, commitment, clarity. What about A? The A, doctors, in care stands for authority. You have to be the authority in disc injuries. You have to not only have this book, doctors, you need to know what it is. You need to know where are the contraindications. When you go to the book and the contraindications tell you metal implants of the spine, pedicle screws and rods, and yet people will send me, can this be treated with decompression? Now, again, that also deals with your equipment manufacturer. Every equipment manufacturer should have liability insurance, which is why I am not for used tables. Now, with the manufacturer, they have to give you that. One of the things that we do, the R stands for research. Doctors, you have to know the research studies. And part of research is knowing that as I was raised in chiropractic school in 1974 to 1978, were the four phases of degeneration. But let's look at the left, and then let's go all the way to the right. What you can see is degenerative joint disease. You can start to see the arthritic changes taking place in the bone, but also look at the pressure on the nerves. Now, what people don't understand, doctors, is you don't get to 1 to 4 without going through a series of pain. They probably did, you know, medications like anti-inflammatories in 2. They might have gone to epidurals in 3. See, many times, doctors, by the time they come to you, they're in phase 4, and then you're scared to tell them how many treatments. You're scared to say you need to come 24 times. Well, let me explain something, doctors. If a medical doctor prescribed an antibiotic, and he said, I want you to take 3 pills a day for 10 days. Well, guess what, doctors? That's 30 treatments. That's 30 times there was liability. There was 30 times that you could have had an adverse reaction to an antibiotic. That's 30 treatments that they gave you in that 10-day period. Go to a dentist and have to have a tooth removed or an implant. What do you think the cost is going to be? $7,000 to $10,000. And they'll do it in probably 5 visits. And you're scared to ask for a certain amount of money in 30 visits? You see, doctors, one of the things that we do is we build care, confidence, authority, research, and then excellence. Excellence in it, knowing the importance of disc hydration. Spinal discs are 80% water. Now, doctors, I say this with all humility. I have 3 types of doctors on here today. Those that know what I'm talking about, those that don't know what I'm talking about, and those that don't know the difference. See, so what I'm saying is you have to know where you stand, and you have to know what you need to do to get your level of excellence. See, because what I'm telling you, doctors, is I love when people say, oh, I'm getting leads, but they're bad leads. Doctors, there's no such thing as bad leads. There's just bad closers. They're not thinking about it. They're thinking about you. You're it. Are you worth it? Did you give them a case presentation so with such clarity and commitment and confidence that they know that you're the authority? And see, that's what we work on every day. See, there are very noticeable symptoms of herniated discs. And, we deal with the disc model doctors all the time. And we know that a disc, it starts as a little bulge, but it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Once it sequesters, doctors, you have a problem. And if you can't tell the patient you're a candidate for surgery, then you don't understand what it is. And listen, I told them earlier, Perry, we're doing a thing with Life University. Why Life University? Because they know when it comes to discs, nobody is better than us. Nobody is more prepared than us. No one has built a better brand for us. Listen, as the former president, chief operating officer of the weight loss company Nutrisystem, I understand in marketing. You know what, Perry? I want to take a 1-minute break. I'd like to bring Chip Omkin on the line. Can I do that?
Yeah, sure. Let me stop sharing the screen for a sec, and let's see.
Here
Oh
he is, the
wow!
big
Look, wow,
chipper.
I am in a grateful. I feel like I'm in Haight Ashbury in San Francisco. I am so happy to see you. I heard some great things about. I always hear great things about you, but Dr. K shared some great things, and let's bring you right to the forefront here. And Dr. K,
One of the things I love about Chip is I met Chip when I was doing state lectures, which I do not do anymore. I'll only do anything for Life University now that we're doing the Life This Centers America Life University Clinic. And for my clients, if you're not a founder, get off your ass because it's a one-time shot. Once I fill that board, it's done, doctors. And I want you to do a report of findings. Say, not only am I the best in the area, I'm a founder of the only this center university-driven clinic based upon research in the world. Now with Chipper, I met him in South Carolina. Not once, not twice, probably 3 times. And Chip was more of a Chip, I think you went to Sherman. You were more of a straight chiropractor. You knew nothing about decompression, but you had a commitment to excellence. You had a commitment to care. You wanted to provide the best care to your patients. You were dedicated. Uh, and then you started to learn about decompression. And, even though you didn't have any chiropractic tables, you didn't have any chiropractic wisdom, you took a big step. Tell them about your journey and tell them how you're doing now, Chipper.
So yeah, I joined DCOA 2 years ago, and I told myself when I joined that I was just going to do whatever you guys told me to do. So when you told me to come to Florida for the national certification, I come. They told me to come to the boot camps. I came to the boot camps. At the boot camps, you told me to do the TV commercials. I filmed the TV commercials. So I followed everything that they told me to do. And so I was texting with Dr. Kaplan today, and I told him that 2025 has been the greatest year of my life, and 2026 is going to be even better. So, from joining 2 years ago, DCOA, I have doubled my practice. I'm having more fun than I've ever had before. I'm helping more people than I've ever helped before. And even this past Monday was the best single day I've ever had in practice.
How much did you collect on Monday? Tell them.
$8,000.
$8,000 paid, prepaid, right?
Prepaid, yep. And then I
And
closed 2 more cases today.
and Chip, tell them how you're not in a big city, are you?
No, small town, 60,000 people.
What town are you in?
Greenwood, South Carolina.
Never even heard of it. But I'll tell you, you got to grow your hair long if you live in Greenwood. You know, and Chip, you became a founder, right?
Yes.
Because I told you to.
Yep.
I'm telling everybody out there, do this. It will change your life. I always say, what is one new patient worth to you? And now that we're adding neuropathy and knees, see, Chip, here's the good news. Before
Hmm.
I let you know, but where do you see what we're adding with neuropathy and where do you see knees? We're going to
No.
have a neuropathy program in the future. We're going to have a knee program in the future. We got professional athletes, professional football players coming in because the world, doctors, is saying, you know what? I don't want drugs anymore. I don't want surgery anymore. And you see, doctors, it's a pivotal time for us. This is the time that we need to make a stand to be the profession, as I said, to Dr. McCauley and Dr. Fogarty, the president, chairman of the board of Life University. We have to provide the non-surgical solution. And you, doctors, have to provide the care, the confidence, the commitment, the clarity, the authority, the research, and the excellence, doctors. Excellence. Because, if someone says, what do you think of Dr. Chip? He's okay. Nobody gets referrals to he's okay. But when they say he's the best, and, it's not like, listen, he goes in there every day. And Chip, if I'm right, you went to Sherman, correct?
Yes.
You never had a table before, right?
Not decompression, no.
And I made you buy a table. Not made you, but recommended it.
Hmm.
And yet you made double the amount of money this year as last year.
From 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Is your wife happier?
Oh yeah, she's happy. Well, we're super busy at the office, and so she gets stressed out a little bit sometimes.
And Chip, thanks so much for sharing with us tonight. I asked you to share, and I try to tell people again, Chip, as I told you, and I tell my clients, there's no bad leads, there's just bad closers. I mean, and you have to understand, doctors. I mean, if you took a thing from like researcher Brooke Barton, spine problems may offer reduced expenditures without associated care, meaning people are spending a lot of money. What do you know, doctors? Watch this. Thanks, Chipper. 50%, doctors, of every bankruptcy in our country is due to medical problems that people can't afford to pay the bills. You know, if you had to go to the hospital, the emergency room with back doctors, do you know what that visit's going to cost? That one visit in the hospital could run you from $7,000 to $15,000 to have an ER visit for your back. Now, if you don't have insurance, what are you going to do? So when people come in and they say, well, gee, doctor, that's a lot of money, let them know how much an ER visit will happen when this disc sequesters, doctor. When that disc gets to a certain point that it can no longer carry on, and that's what you guys need to understand. And that's why, Perry says we talk about research studies. I mean, I'll go to the American Journal of Pain Management, right? That's Sheely and Caladia had a great success rate with Merrill Wassman, and these are all MDs. Outcome was phenomenal. Practical pain management, technology review, great results. 88% success rate. One of the people said to one of our sons, "Well, is there a guarantee?" No, doctors. That's like saying to the heart surgeon, "Am I going to live?" Well, we hope so. But if you look at this MRI, doctors, this is my MRI. Posterior angular tear L2, bulges, tears, etc. I have never had surgery, doctors. I'll be playing golf in the member this weekend. And I'm telling you, thanks to decompression, thanks to laser, thanks to electroanalysis, which Dr. Bard made me, when I couldn't even walk, he made me come to his place. And then we ended up walking on the beach. And that's why the Ironman study from the American Journal of Neuroimaging is so important. You see, doctors, when you can quote the medical studies to your patients and explain the difference between a bulge, protrusive, degenerative, herniated, that's why, we just had Rob Burke, who did a chapter. Rob Burke is a neuroradiologist, and I think, Perry, catch me if I'm wrong, he said he's looked at like 500,000 MRIs. And he's a decompression patient, doctors. You see, it's time for us to go through it. We give this chart out to everybody. Anybody that emails Dr. Bard at New Patient Doc Now, we will send you this chart. Why? It shows you percentage, watch this, of abnormal findings on lumbar, MRI, and CAT scan in healthy, pain-free. Let me say that again. Healthy, pain-free subjects. Now, this was in the American Journal of Neuroradiology. So even if I go into the 40s, doctors, what percent have disc degeneration? Almost 70%. Doctors, if you can't ask people to follow your care, then you know what? Then you're failing at providing the best care. When people say, well, doc, they have a HELP 5 herniation, can I treat this patient? You know what the best angle is, doctors? It's the try, TRY. It's the try angle. I always say to patients when they say, is this a kind of decompression? I said, would you adjust this patient? You see, because often, doctors, if you have the right equipment, it's more gentle many times than an osseous adjustment by a Thompson terminal adjustment, a side posture adjustment. You see, doctors, when you become the expert, you know what? My father taught me, and I quote it, and my doctors will tell you, the road to success is always under construction. Now it's a new year, doctor. What are your goals? What are your goals? What are you doing, doctors, now that's going to prevent people from opioid deaths? What are you doing to help your community? Do you look at these numbers, 1990s? More than 564,000 people have died of opioid overdose. But guess what, doctors? What percentage of those had back pain? And what percent of those could have been patients of yours? Which neuropathy? Watch this. Hydrocodone causes 62% of accidental, acetaminophen-induced active liver injuries. 22,400 overdoses. I mean, the study doctors go on, and you can take a picture of this. But see, if you become a client of ours, or you are a client of ours, we pound research into you. I want my doctors to be the best. Dr. Dyer, again, from Washington University, said there are 80,000 surgeries that fail annually. 80,000. And you want to know why you're not getting new patients? Are you being the best doctor, the best detective, providing the best diagnosis? The number one source of back pain is disc. And if you look, doctors, at the Bogdoc study, and listen, I could throw you study after study. You want to talk about the Bogdoc study, the Ironman study, the Caladia study? I'll give you study after study. Why? Because, see, doctors, Dr. Bard and I wanted to make a difference. As I told my son, and Dr. Barr told his son, is chiropractic is the greatest profession in the world, but it's not the easiest business. And if you become a salesman, doctors, you will fail. Because in today's world, doctors, people want results. Best detective, best results. So when I have somebody like Chip from South Carolina who never even had a table, and he did 8,000 in one day, and he had another great day today, this is what our doctors do. So as you're sitting there, doctors, for those of you who are clients, great. You need to get to an updated boot camp. You need to get to an updated, thing. We'll be at certain programs throughout the year. Contact Dr. Barr. He'll tell you where we'll be and when we will be there. If you're not a client, doctors, guess what? What do you want? What are you willing to pay for it? How many of you want more? I will tell you, Dr. Bard's going to get mad at me, but let me tell you, I'm going to do a 1-minute commercial here. I know there are 3 seats left for what I'm doing, in a few weeks. The first person that calls, I will give them their seat for free. However, they're going to have to go online. They're going to have to register. They're going to have to give their credit card. Why? Because if they don't show up, I will bill you. If you show up, it's on me. If you don't show up, I will bill you. Why? Because you're taking that seat from someone else. If you're the first caller, I will give you a seat. Second caller, you go on the waiting list. Third caller, waiting list, but you can come, and it'll be the best one day you will ever have. And you can ask any of our clients if it's been, when you have a guy like Chip and he says, gee, $8,000 in one day. And then we have people on this, that are on this meeting today that, that I know that do hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. You see, doctors, it's not, what you're doing, but also are you enjoy doing what you're doing? I mean, Dr. Dio again, and I'm going through him a lot today, and Paul Rubery, orthopedic surgeon, said in WebMD, patients often want the drugs they see on TV, one their uncle's on. And these days, most patients demand MRIs. Now, here's what we know, doctors. We talk about this all the time. Healing takes time. The days of, and don't get me wrong, doctors, but you're not going to cure people in one visit. Because see what you have is a EED episode. It's expanding episodal decompression, and then what you have to have is a nutrient transport. And if you look at the Barton study, I mean, he says that the disc has the ability to heal itself, but you have to give it the fluid. And if you look at this, doctors, tissue takes time. Now, these are charts we give to our doctors and we give to the patients. We let them know, doctors, healing takes time. In the Chaffel study from Emory University, there were 10 million disabled people, and many of them, of the 10 million, are back related. It's one of the number one causes of disability. And Shealy and Leroy showed an 86% success rate, even some with ruptured discs. You see, so if a person had to go to the ER, and it's going to cost them anywhere from $7,000 to $15,000, doctors, and then you're worried about charging them $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000? No, these are basic contraindications. We talked about that earlier. You got to ask your people. The people meaning, what table do you have? Every table has certain levels of limitation. They have liability. The American Journal of Pain Management, again, Shealy Bergmeyer, one of the most published studies in the world, showed an 86% success rate. But more importantly, doctors, even after a year. Now, then you have the Harvard study, inversion, doctors. Okay? What it does is you want to create unloading of the disc, as my son will say all the time. Why inversion doesn't work, doctors? It loads the disc. It creates positive disc pressure. What Ramos and Martin did in their study is they showed how to get negative disc pressure. What I'm excited about as I look on the thing is people are staying online, and you should stay online because, if you understand that the difference of the tables, if you look at the, two of the top tables which are the Acuspina and the VaxD, you're going to notice that they have fixed towers. Why? But also, I want you to notice something. Everybody's in the supine position, yet the original study done by Dr. Dyer, MD, PhD, developed the defibrillator, they were done supine. It was Shealy and Caladia that moved it into a supine position. And now what you have is on the other tables is they have actuators. And you need to know the algorithm of how many times that the load cells work with it. Now, when you look at the bottom tables, doctors, look what you're doing is when you change the angle, if you look at the bottom left, if you change the angle of the spine, doctors, you have the person sitting like this. Well, there is not one study on that table, not one study on that table that shows it. The same with the person at the end. Because if you go like this, doctors, can they see this, Perry?
Yeah, they can see it.
If you see this, like the woman all the way to the right, doctors, you're loading the disc. You will not get negative disc pressure. All the machines are not the same. If you're looking to buy a piece of equipment, number one, you can call me or Dr. Barr. Number two, or ask the manufacturer, can you please provide me with some research studies on your equipment? When I worked with Rob Burke, medical radiologist, he wanted to know, show me the research studies. They want to know. And again, doctors, as I say, what is one new patient worth to you? We know the Boxall Martin study, the Sherry study. I mean, you can look at the effects of increasing pulling angles on the spine. Once you start to do it, as you look in 2, 3, and 4 doctors, that's not healthy because you're putting pressure on other discs and you can't differentiate. And that's Shealy Caladia, Shealy Bergmeyer, Shealy Wasserman. I mean, they created the fixed tower. And that's why DRX, Acuspina do it. What's the regime traction decompression? Oh, God. Where do we begin? Well, if you go to the Shealy Bergmeyer study, they found that with traction, the results were in the range of 50% with no excellent. Let me tell you, no excellent. But with decompression, on a decompression table, they went up to 86 to 91% with excellent results. Meaning, you want a patient to have okay results? The difference between traction, as we know, doctors, traction machines combine a power traction unit. And then you have to know if they have it. The Cochrane review, mechanical motorized traction is inconsistent. And it is. If you look at certain tables, doctors, it's a rope. It's like a rod and a reel, doctors. Okay? You don't want to have a trenchment study that it's just pulling, because what happens is if you get to the high hold, doctors, and then you release, it drops off. It has to be done in segments. In the Acuspina, it's like a Rolex, doctors. It goes boom, 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 boom. You can't just get them to the high hold and then release it, which is what some tables do. One's named after a president or a past president. I talked about epidurals earlier. I mean, the choices that they have. Doctors, life is about choices. For those of you that are here tonight, you have a choice. Are you going to come to another boot camp or not? Are you going to come to another certification or not? For those of you that aren't clients, are you going to come to an event and see if maybe I can change your life as we did a guy like Chip Onken? I'm so confident in that, doctors. I know that it's about it. Do you know that we're the only company that deals with disc in the world that was endorsed by Norman Shealy? He actually taught at Harvard Medical School. Why? Because as I was telling earlier before Perry came on, when we had technical difficulties, but that's why we are the dynamic duo, doctors. We can ham and egg with the best of them. He knew that the sacrum, doctors, if the sacrum becomes subluxated and you pull it, see, this is why medical doctors, don't get me wrong. You can talk to the owners of any of the companies. Medical doctors are moving into the world of decompression. Why? It's cash. But what makes you better? Because you doctors can handle kinesiopathology, or as we would call it, subluxations. Unless you went to national and they want to use the word kinesiopathology, I'm a subluxation guy. But if the sacrum is off, doctors, if the sacrum is off in any way, shape, or form, then after you release, when you go from progression to regression, from high hold to low hold, then what's going to happen, doctors, is, again, it's not going to do. The Nicholson study, doctors, was one of the largest studies with close to 800 people. And it was funny because that study was done, doctors, when they were in a, a prone position, and they still had a 76 to 78% success rate. But the Nicholson study also showed doctors about what it is about disc pressure. And he said the lowest disc pressure in the spine. So here it is, doctors. If you look when a person is in the supine position, they still have 75 pounds of of positive disc pressure. That's why people, doctors, when they have it, they're used to lying on their back. If lifting, 400 pounds. If you do it wrong, 800 pounds of disc pressure. This is not the way to go. This is not what you want to do. You know, Moxel Martin, who I mentioned before, shows that the tissue has the ability to heal itself. Next study, Perry. So now what we do is, our doctors are going to understand, whether it be Ramos and Martin, Journal of Neurosurgery, which was done on the VAX-D, which is my number 3 table. Okay? Ramos and Martin. And I know sometimes Dr. Martin lectures for one of the other companies, but that's not the table he did his study on. Ramos and Martin was done on the vaccine table. Dr. Shealy always said, I hate people that utilize my studies for equipment that was not utilized by me. And that's why if you look at the bottom one, the outcome, good to excellent relief in 86% of the patients. That's a great number. Now, and we can go on with research study after research study. But again, today, doctors, today it's about decisions. It's a new year. What do you want? What price are you going to pay? What do you want? What price are you going to pay? I can sit here and go over study after study. You come to the event, we'll give it to you. You come to boot camp, we'll give you things that you can provide to your patients. That's what we do, doctors. And you know what? I say this with all humility, we do it better than anybody. That's why, doctors, we have the ultimate book. All these studies, doctors, are in this book. All new clients now will get this book. And doctors, understand something. It talks about how many visits did they do. We'll tell you about Sheila, Yoakum, Ramos, Beebe, Ghost, Fireman, Gehring, Marcario, Pelosi. You want to know, doctors? Listen, you want to be average? Average is the best of the worst and the worst of the best. Our sons will not be average. Perry will not allow it. I will not allow it. I'm very proud of the work that we've done. But doctors, here's what I'm going to tell you for those that don't know us. That's the McClure study, 91% success rate. You can show me the colors and we provide these, but here's what I'm saying. Why would Life University choose us? Why would Life University have the only outpatient clinic?
Oh,
Excuse me? That's the only outpatient clinic with Distance America Life University Clinic. We're so proud of that. Leslie studied, Dr. Leslie, who worked with the Mayo Clinic. And we provide research study after research study. You see, doctors, now is your time to make a difference. There has never been a better time for decompression than there is now. And now is your time, doctors. Now is your time to make a difference. I mean, Dr. Fogarty sent us a study today. We have study after study, doctors. Dr. Fogarty, for those that don't know, is the chairman of the board. See, we teach our doctors to understand research. We work with that all the time. And that's what we want, doctors. We don't want you to be average. Average, again, is the best of the worst of the best. Do you know, doctors? I mean, you want to hear a terrible statistic? 7 out of 10 Americans take a prescription drug every day, according to the Mayo Clinic. 7 out of 10. So we know from Apple, okay, and this was done by CAT scans, okay. I mean, there's study after study. So Perry, let's bring it down and, listen, they want more, they can get more. It's now on you, Perry. I'm passing the ball.
is that a blind pass? Is that actually what they call a?
Yeah, listen.
Wait a minute. Is it? Wait, let me. I see. I don't. For some of you who don't know, Dr. Kaplan was a very, very high level Division I basketball player. He actually had a full ride, right? A full ride at a Division I school And I mean, just think for a second. Imagine you're Dr. Kaplan's teammate. Think about this for a sec, right? And you got the coach of the team, right? But then you got Dr. Kaplan. And at the end of the day, I know if it's me, I need a teammate that I can trust, that I could feed, that I could set a pick for, could set a pick for me, can go to the hoop, can take an outside shot, shoot from the key. That's all my basketball terms. I don't really have.
And matter of fact, Barry,
I don't have any more than that.
when I leave this Zoom meeting, I'm going to watch the Knick game and watch Jalen Brunson. And I'll tell you, Doctor, why I love Jalen Brunson. For those of you, even if you're not a Knick fan, he's short by NBA standards. He's not athletic by NBA standards. He cannot jump high by NBA standards. Yet, doctors, he's all conference, and he won in college the championship, and he scores 29 to 30 points a game, doctors. Why? He has passion. He has heart. And you see, doctors, what separates the winners from the whiners, the heroes from the zeros in this profession? You got to have heart, doctors. You have to care. You have to have confidence. You have to have clarity. See, I don't have to look at notes. You have to have commitment. You have to have the authority. You have to have the research. You have to have the best technology. Doctors, being the best is a lifetime goal. I mean, I'm still doing this, and now I'm excited what we're going to be doing at the university, and I'm excited that for our people, you can be a part of something special. This is your legacy. Your name will hang in this clinic forever, and when that wall is filled, it's filled. And I think we're with 2/3, no, we're 75% filled. So if you're on the fence, doctors, jump the fence. I always say to this, if it provides you one new patient, it helps you close one more case. You've doubled your investment, and it's tax deductible. You see, Winston Churchill said, you make a living by what you get, you make a life by what you give. Harry and I are donating our time to the university. We donated our name, our brand, and our legacy. But let me tell you something. They didn't come.
Oh, by the way, I just want to give you a quick heads up, real quick. I got a lot more to show you. I got really, to me, some stuff you haven't seen before. So for those of you who are still with us, which is I think like 99% of where we started, and because somebody has to get to a Knick game tonight, let me dive in real quick because I'm so hungry right now. I don't know if you're like me, but Dr. Bellitz I'm telling you, I don't know if he's eaten. It looks so good, Dr. Bellitz. I'm trying to figure out, it looks, whatever it is, it's great. So that's what we do on these Zoom meetings. So let me show you real quick. Take out a pen, take out a piece of paper. As we say, let's go to work. I want to show you something right here, right now, because some of you got on a little bit late, but let me show you here what we're talking about. Okay, real quick. A mainstay of the doctors here on the Zoom training are part of our family. Tuesday night, January 13th, 2026. It's less than 7 days away. We're sending you a private link at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. We're going to do a kickstart new patient explosion generation of all the tools needed to be able to create a waitlist practice. Before we started, I talked about 12 new patients one day for our son. I know that's nuts. It's crazy. He's 14 weeks in business. Yeah, he's got a beautiful office, but listen, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. You know how many boot camps he came to before he even opened his doors? Certifications, master classes. See, if you put yourself in the right environment, life gets really good real fast. But here's a big difference. Think about this. It's one thing to learn how to fly a plane in class. It's another thing to land that plane for real when you're up in the skies at 30, 40,000 square feet above sea level. Well, guess what? Not only is he flying the plane, he's landing the plane every single day historically with the smoothest landing ever. We're having so much fun watching him and Dr. Jason Kaplan, who really is a visionary on another level. If you get the chance to come to the Cairo event on Saturday, January 24th, write the date down. Go to the website, thecairoevent.com. I don't know how many seats are left. Dr. Kaplan apparently just gave 1 seat away for free. But hey, Santa Kaplan isn't in this year. So all of our family next week, don't forget. But I want to show you a couple things here real quick. Write it down, because here's the deal. It's real simple. You want to procrastinate, you want to wait, you want to hem, you want to haw, you want to woulda, you want to coulda, you want to shoulda, and before you know it, the parade is gone, left, and guess what? You're on the sidelines watching the parade go by. You ask any of our doctors, not only are they in the parade, they want to lead the parade. We want to give you more tools, content, information, facts, and marketing at the Cairo event. You're going to go to the website. You can watch some videos. Here's what I would do if it was me. And I'm on this Zoom training right here, right now. I'm saying, wait a minute. I could have been doing a lot of things tonight. I could have been watching The Voice. I could have been watching a college basketball game. I could have been watching reality TV. I could be taking my dog for a walk. That's all good stuff. But it's not as good as being in a position of power, being in a position of control, taking care of your baby. Listen, your practice is your baby. It's your child. And if you feed it, nurture it, grow it, develop it, pour into it, oh, the results are sick. And I mean sick like in a good way, like not like sick in a bad way. Sick in like a crazy way. Crazy
You know, Perry,
good. That
if
good.
they like what if they like what I was discussing today and they like to learn about the research and they want this, let me tell you something. As Perry said, you'll walk away with 1,000 pages of content. If you want to make a difference in your practice, then you have to make a difference in your life. What are your goals for 2026? But here's what I'm telling you. A goal without a plan is nothing more than a wish. I will tell you this. I wish for every chiropractor to be successful. I wish for every chiropractor to know what our sons know. I wish for every chiropractor to have a legacy that'll change the lives of their community. But here's what I wish for the most. I wish for, when I look at, the people, if there were 30,000 chiropractors, right? And what percent of them are successful? I believe the middle class has gone away. But here's this exciting thing. Our chiropractors succeed. So I hope you come to the event if you're not a client. And if you're a client, we let you in. Because why? Perry always has new stuff. Santa Bard he's been in the North Pole preparing stuff for you guys. So we're excited. I'm excited for the future of us. I'm excited for the future of Life University. I'm excited for our clinic at Life University. I'm excited for our profession. But I'll tell you what, at the Cairo event, I get excited to teach. I get excited to make you better doctors. I get excited to help you reach your own potential. And if I tell you we lowered the price for 2026, why, doctors? Because, Perry said he could be doing a lot of things tonight. Why are we here? To make a difference. I can assure you, doctors, neither one of us has to work another day for the rest of our lives. But we're working for you. We're working for the profession. You, doctors, need to work for your community. And if you're not meeting your potential, what are you going to do about it? If you're not happy with your practice, what are you going to do about it? If you're not making the numbers you want, what are you going to do about it? Because we all know if you do the same thing the same way, the same result. I'm going to tell you, 2026 should be the year of change. What if you had one decompression case? What's it worth? What about a neuropathy case? What about a knee case? We're going to give you the trilogy of cash components to add to your practice. I hope to see you at the Cairo event.
I don't know if you're like me, but I like watching videos. I think videos are kind of like the fast track way to learn things. So I'm going to make a suggestion. Go to the website. Go to thecairovet.com because I got a secret surprise for you. Do you see this screen that you're looking at? We have abundant videos of doctors ranting, raving, and literally screaming from the mountaintops how much one day changed their life because they attended the Cairo event. But here's the coolest thing. You got 4 doctors you're looking at right here. What if I told you that 2 of those doctors are going to be there live at the Cairo event? I'm not going to tell you which 2 they are, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you this. One has 13 decompression tables. Yeah, 13. The other one, well, he retired. He retired And he has a total life of freedom now. And he's going to be there at the Cairo event with you if you're fortunate enough to grab a seat. I say if because remember we started the day and we talked about the Zoom meeting. We said if you have the right content, tools, marketing, information, you surround yourself with the right people and you have the right access. It's a small word, 2 little letters. But if you're able to grab a seat, you'll meet doctors that are there for all the right reasons. You'll meet doctors that are so entrepreneurial. You meet doctors that love their patients. You'll meet doctors that took the game of chiropractic seriously, in the business of chiropractic seriously, and they just kept making it bigger and bigger and bigger and better and better and better. And when Dr. Kaplan mentioned before, remember before when he said, we're going to put 1,000 pages of material in your hand, that's 1,000% factual. We're actually going to give you the university edition of the Ultimate Spinal Decompression book, which is actually 400 pages. So then we got to give you other things to fill in the other 600 pages, which we're so happy to do. And we're so happy to give you tools, material, content that you can pour into when you get back on the plane, that you could just do the deep dive and you could start planning your game plan for 2026, because we're going to show you example after example after example after example. Simple. Who is it? Dr. Kaplan, myself, and some of the most entrepreneurial chiropractors on the planet. You'll meet our sons. They're going to be there. They're going to share with you. They're going to show you how they're running multi-million-dollar practices. One already and one on the path. Yeah, crushing it. Saturday, January 24th is the date. Live at a 5-star location in South Florida. If you're fortunate enough to grab a seat, you'll be sent a confirmation email, which will give you all the logistics, time, start, gourmet lunch. Yes, phenomenal chef, incredible, 5-star environment. And what do you do it? Hey, real simple. If you're like me and a majority of doctors on the Zoom meeting, you just want to have more freedom. You know, it's just that simple. When I say more freedom, what do I mean? It's simple. Free to do what you want, when you want, where you want, with whom you want, for as long as you want. And it's so funny. Doctors say to me, oh my God, you talk so fast. I can't help it. I love what I do. I do what I love. I come from a little town up in New York City called Brooklyn, New York. Everybody talks fast up there. They do. But tell you the truth, I'd rather be hanging out tonight after the Zoom meeting with Dr. Onken, listening to Fish, listening to The Dead. And oh, by the way, for those of you who don't know, when we did, I just showed a poster. Last year we did the Cairo event in Las Vegas, sold out like completely. There are doctors on the Zoom meeting that attended. You know what I'm talking about. And for those of you who don't know, I took Dr. Kaplan, mind blow, ready? I took him to see the Grateful Dead at a place called the Sphere. Now, what if I told you I took him there and there were people coming up to Dr. Kaplan who knew him? How does that happen? I take him to a Grateful Dead concert and people coming up to him and go, oh my God, you're Dr. Kaplan. And he like knew people from that, you know, it was crazy. I go, oh my gosh, you're like known everywhere. But we had he loved it. It was a great time. Oh my God. John Mayer. It's a long story. Dr. Onken knows all about that. But what I want to tell you is this. It's real simple. Life favors the action takers. If you have faith, trust, belief, and confidence in who you are and what you do, then this is your chance. Because guess what? This chance isn't coming again. Once it's sold out, it's sold out. Once it's closed out. And we're not doing it again in the beginning of the year. We're not doing it. And I'd love to be able to do more of these, but I never know when it's the last one. I promise you with all my heart. We don't plan these things in advance. The only thing that's planned are our boot camps. And by the way, boot camps are free. Now, how do I know how many of those doctors, those multi-million-dollar doctors, are going to be at the Cairo event on Saturday? Because they're going to be at a boot camp with us on Friday, training for free. Yes, if you're part of our family, come to a boot camp. Oh my gosh. We got such surprises for you. It's a super boot camp. So for our doctors here that obviously are still loving life and hanging out and want to know more, let me give you 2 dates, okay? So the dates are January 23rd. You go to school, Dr. Falkenberry. I love what you do. Superstar, Ring of Honor. So proud of you. I can rant and rave about you. Where do I begin? Got the big idea. Phenomenal doctor. She's in our Ring of Honor. Fastest to the Ring of Honor, fastest female doctor to Ring of Honor. I want to make that distinction. And you are an incredible torch carrier. So what's happening is on Friday, January 23rd, we're having what's called a super boot camp. Never done before. Multiple rooms with multiple trainings, with multiple content, multiple multiple technology, multiple information, multiple marketing, multiple new stuff. And we have to do that now because the demand is so high to attend boot camps that instead of capping them and closing them out, which we've done always, we're actually opening it up to everybody that wants to come. Now, if you can't come, then you can come March 13th, but the day after January 24th is the car event. Oh, by the way, all of our doctors are grandfathered into the car event, so they get to come for free. If you're not, you got to pay the $249. Still best investment in the world, right? Still pound for pound, the best $249 you'll ever spend on yourself. And you know what? Dr. Kaplan did something crazy before, right? And it's so funny. It's so funny. My phone's lighting up, right? And by the way, one of the doctors already scooped up that seat. So remember, he gave like a free seat away, and so that seat's gone. But I don't know if he's still on. But let's do something a little different. You want to do something a little different? What the heck? He's not even. Remember, he said three. I think, did he say 3 seats, right? So how about this? The other two, second and third seat, if you call 888-990-9660, that's the phone number, and you want that seat for free, you can get that seat for free. But the rest are, you get paid at $249. Now, but I'll do something even better. Let me blow your mind even more. Ready? I'm going to do something even better, which has never been done before. Didn't have to. What the heck? I just want to give you that warm, fuzzy feeling, whether you're in Minnesota, whether you're in Chicago, whether you're in Iowa, whether you're in North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Omaha. Yeah, we have clinics there too. Our son went to a school called Creighton Dental School. Yeah, in Omaha, Nebraska. You bet. What are the odds that Dr. Kaplan and I have 4 sons? 4 sons. Ultimate blessing. You want to know what's the most incredible blessing? All of them became doctors. One medical doctor, 1 dentist, 2 chiropractors. Mind-blowing. Is that amazing? They wanted freedom. They took the tools that we've been teaching for all these years, plugged them in, and exploded and have total. And if you looked at our sons' lives, let me tell you a little bit about our sons' lives. Let me see. Just spent the past 2 weeks up in New York City, just having a blast, having fun. Practice is autopiloted. The other one, Friday night, will be at the National Championship at the Peach Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, staying at a property there that he owns, by the way. Yeah, it is that good. It is that good. Yeah, they have a life and a lifestyle because they're all in on their business. They're all in on their patients. But let me do something even different a little bit. If anybody is able to secure a seat at the Chiro event and you're not completely blown away, we'll give you your money back. How's that? All right? How's that? Never been done before. Don't have to do it. But since Santa Kaplan gave away a free seat, what the heck? You want to ensure your spot, go to the website, thechirovet.com. Grab your spot right here, right now. It's only 2.5 weeks away. And then you'll get an email confirmation, date, time, logistics, hotel, all that stuff, where to stay. And hey, let me tell you something. I graduated 40 years ago this year from chiropractic school. I'm having more fun than I've ever had in my life. I retired 20 years ago from actually seeing patients. Then I went back in because I loved it. I missed my patients. Then I sold that practice again. Who bought that practice? Company called Whole Foods. Oh, that's for another day and another story. Yeah, Whole Foods bought my practice. Oh, I didn't know they buy chiropractic practices. They bought my practice. They did. Oh, we got so many things to share with you and show you. But guess what? It's time to go. It's time to go. I had a lot of fun with you tonight. I'm so thankful and I'm so happy. Thank you, Dr. Belitz. Thumbs up to you, my brother. I hope you can score a seat. If they're not all gone. Once it's gone, it's gone. That's not a scarcity thing. It is just what it is because there's only so many people that they can hold in the room. And but I would love for you to be there because listen, you spent the time, energy, effort with us here live tonight on the Zoom meeting, and you hung out with us. So it's really a gift to us and a blessing. And if you're fortunate enough, fingers crossed, try to grab a seat at the Chiro event. Go to the website right now, thechirovet.com. And if you do, It's not too many things in life I can promise, but I'll promise you this. You'll have a better year. And many of you will have the best year you've ever had. Thanks so much for hanging with us. Happy New Year. And I hope to see you live with Dr. Kaplan for the Game Changer Day of all days, Saturday, January 24th, live at the Cairo Fed. Be well. Take care. Thanks for hanging with us.